So go over your build here. Go over your DPS build.
Okay, so this is like my favorite gun in the whole game. Uh, I just got this gun, the F2000. If you can get one with NSYNC on it, it is just a god rolled gun. It shoots phenomenally.
My goodness, you got yours all completely maxed out.
Yes, sir. This was a luck of the draw. Um, so the
Got
F2000,
insanely
if you
lucky.
can get one of those with the health damage already maxed out, and you can use the damage to targets out of cover. You can use the 6% armor damage, or you could use the health damage if you'd like. But I recommend InSync, and I'll explain that a little bit further in the build why I recommend InSync. And then my second favorite gun is the Good Times. That critical hit and 8% reload speed bonus and maximum of 40. This thing can reload when it's maxed out in like maybe 4 seconds. And with my
I
crit
saw that
build,
in the last video that I did of you.
yeah, it's freaking ridiculous, man. So,
Chronic
and
reload overdrive.
I'm gonna go in. Well, the last thing is the pistol, is the Liberty, just because I don't have an exotic. So I figured, why not? So I just put an exotic in there in this place since I don't have one on this build. So you don't necessarily have to have this build this way. This is just my personal preference. I have a one-piece furnace group, which is the mask. It's almost maxed out, but I didn't get the weapon damage maxed out. But I wanted to get crit damage as much as possible on this build. It already had it on there, so I just rolled on crit chance with the crit damage mod. And then for the backpack, I have one piece Providence defense just for the headshot damage, and this was just rolled to me maxed out, and I could roll out the talent. So Providence defense is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
um, I rolled on Unstoppable because I've never actually got this skill to proc the way I wanted to, and with this build, I'm just mowing things down so fast. It's crazy. Then the second one, on each gun that I have the 8 times scope, so I can proc focus. And on here with focus, when I'm aiming down the scope, each second I get 5% weapon damage, which can cap out at 50% weapon damage. So if I'm aiming down I literally can just be aiming on the scope for 2 seconds. I'm increasing my weapon damage. So this is just a good perk to have if you're not going to be up close. You're going to be at a good distance, and you can just slaughter things from there. And it's an insane
I
amount of
noticed
weapon
that in
damage.
the previous videos that I made of you scoping in. I thought it
Yep,
was annoying at first, but now I know why you do it.
yep. It's just extra damage, and I like to be at a safe distance and shoot people. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but you work around it. So next, I have on the Contractor's Gloves with the damage to armor maxed out with more crit damage and weapon damage, and the LMG for the 10% to go with the good times. So I get my extra damage there. Holster is Walker Harris Co. for the extra 5% weapon damage. I couldn't get this one 100% maxed out. I haven't been farming this one like I should be, but I rolled on crit damage again. I have headshot damage instead of crit chance, but it's all good. Still works out. And then lastly is my crit damage. So Grupo, the first ability is crit damage. So of course you put that one on there. It already had crit damage maxed out, so I just rolled on crit chance. I couldn't get the weapon damage, but again, a little bit of farming, and I'm good to
Yeah.
go. And here is when I can get the insync to proc. So you can get insync to proc when two things happen. One, you're inflicting damage with your skill, or you're just procking a skill. So when I use my drone, as soon as I activate my drone, I'll be able to use insync. But after like 5 seconds, it wears off. My first ability is going to be your assault turret, because it's constantly just shooting them. It's not going to inflict much damage, but it will give you the ability to proc in sync. So that's an extra 30% weapon damage on your assault rifle just by having your assault drone. So yeah, it all balances out, you know. And that, yep, that's the conclusion of this build right here.
All right. That's the red build.